Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Which verse is it? 32. Okay. Ekada Kridamanaste Ramadya Gopadaraka Krishna Midam Bhaksitavan Iti Matre Nyavedayan Ekada Kridamanaste Ramadya Gopadashaka Daraka Krishna Midam Bhakshitavan Iti Matre Nyavedayan Ekada Kridamanaste Ramadya Gopadaraka Krishna Midam Bhaksitavan Iti Matre Nyavedayan
Ekada Kridamanaste Ramadya Gopadaraka Krishna Mridam Bhakshitavan Iti Matre Nyavedayan Ekada Kridamanaste Ramadya Gopadaraka Krishna Mridam Bhakshitavan Iti Matre Nyavedayan
Okay, word for word. Ekada. Once upon a time. Kridamanaha. Now Krishna. Being still more grown up. Was playing with other children. Of the same age. Te. They. Rama Adya. Balarama and others. Gopa Daraka. Other boys born in the same neighborhood. Of the cowherd men. Krishna Midam Bhaksitavan. O mother, Krishna has eaten earth. A complaint was lodged. Iti thus. Matre unto Mother Yashoda. Nyavedayan. They submitted. Translation. One day, while Krishna was playing with his small playmates, including Balaram and other sons of the Gopas, all his friends came together and lodged a complaint to Mother Yashoda. Mother, Mother, they submitted, Krishna has eaten earth. Please repeat. One day, while Krishna was playing with his small playmates, including Balaram, and other sons of the Gopas, all his friends came together and lodged a complaint to Mother Yashoda. Mother, they submitted, Krishna has eaten earth. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Here is another of Krishna's transcendental activities invented to please the gopis. First, a complaint was lodged with Mother Yashoda about Krishna stealing, but Mother Yashoda did not chastise him. Now, in an attempt to awaken Mother Yashoda's anger so that she would chastise Krishna, another complaint was invented that Krishna had eaten earth. Om Jnanam Mandasya Gnanam Salakya Chakshurumritam Yena Tasmai Shri Chaitanya Manopustam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swaram Rupakadamayam Tadasa Swapadantikam. Hare Krishna. So, Krishna's always having fun. He's always thinking of ways to enjoy life. So he likes to play. In the spiritual world, it's all play. He's playing. And he likes to provoke Mother Yashoda to get angry. And actually he really becomes afraid. It's not like he's just putting on an act. He forgets his godhood and he really gets into the pastime without knowing who he is. As the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he just covers himself over so that he can really get into these pastimes. Like a good actor will get into the mood of the part he's playing so that he can play it better. So Krishna, he just becomes absorbed in being a baby, being a young child, and having a mother, and seeing his mother getting angry, and then giving her a nice surprise when he opens his mouth so that she sees all the cosmic manifestation, all the rivers, all the mountains, all the trees. Not all of them, but some of them. So he's just having fun. Then he likes to surprise her in different ways. So Krishna, he comes to the material world specifically to manifest these pastimes so that we can become attracted to the spiritual world. That's his whole goal, is to attract us to the spiritual world, to go back to Godhead, because he doesn't want us to be rotting in this material world. This is not our real home. So Krishna is really our friend, that he will come and he will perform these beautiful pastimes for our benefit. And so we need to hear about Krishna. That's really Rupa Goswami's main function. Seeing as it's his disappearance day, he's a very important person. We know that he's the leader of the Vaishnavas. He's the original spiritual master after Lord Chaitanya, and he was empowered to write so many books. And of course, we know that Rupa Goswami, he was a very intimate friend and servant of Srimati Radharani. So he's very qualified to give us very intimate details of the divine couple's pastimes and activities. So he wrote many books. And he was very humble. When he wrote Vidagdha Madhava and Lalita Madhava, there's one verse, he said that even though a low-class person may light the fire for the flame that purifies gold. The gold is pure. So even the person is a low-class person, he's referring to himself. Even though I'm low-class, still, somewhere or other, these books are pure nectar, because he was actually empowered by Lord Chaitanya. And so Rupa Goswami, he is a very intimate servant of Srimati Radharani. So therefore, Narottam Das Thakur, he wrote one important song, Shri Rupa Manjari Pada. We don't really sing it anymore. We used to sing this song quite often. It's a very important song, so I'll read it. The lotus feet of Shri Rupa Manjari are my treasure, my devotional service, and my object of worship. They give my life meaning, and they are the life of my life. They are the perfection of rasa, and they are perfection worthy of attainment. They are the very law of the scriptures for me. They are the meaning of all my fasts and penances, and my silent utterings of my mantras. They are the basis of religion and activities. By the purifying process of favorable devotional service, one will attain perfection, and with these two eyes be able to see. His transcendental form is shining like moonlight in my heart, and my heart therefore shines and reciprocates. In other words, the ordinary moon lights up the night, and its shine illuminates other objects. But the moon of the effulgence of the form of Shri Rupa Manjari shines into the heart and makes the heart also shine back to the spiritual sky. This moon shines not only in the night time, but day and night. Your absence from my vision is like a dose of strong poison, and I will suffer till the end of my life. Narottam Das Thakur says, please give me your mercy and the shade of your lotus feet. So Rupa Goswami is such an important personality, and he's written so many books. So these books, he says that may the pastimes of Krishna eradicate all sinful desires and extinguish all sinful reactions. The pastimes of Krishna are so beautiful that they defeat the nectar produced on the moon, because they spread the fragrance of the affairs of Radha and Krishna. So Rupa Goswami, he was empowered by Lord Chaitanya. When he was in Orissa, he stopped at a place called Satyabhamapur, and that night he had a dream, and Satyabhama came to him and told him to write 2 separate dramas about Krishna. One, Krishna's pastimes in Dwaraka, which is, what's this called? There's Lalita Madhava. Lalita Madhava is about Dwaraka, and Vidagdhamata is about Vrindavan. So he composed a verse. This is about his position that Swarup Damodar has said, had you not previously bestowed your mercy on him, they said, it would not have been possible for him to express your internal feelings. So this is these verses which I'll quote later on. So in the purport here, devotees acknowledge Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's special mercy upon Sri Rupa Goswami in the following words. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yenabhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam. When will Sri Rupa Goswami Prabhupada, who has established within this material world a mission to fulfill the desire of Lord Chaitanya, give me shelter under his lotus feet? The special function of Sri Rupa Goswami is to establish the feelings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. These feelings are his desires that his special mercy be spread throughout the world in this Kali Yuga. Pritivichiyacha yata nagaradi gram sarvatra pachara haibe moranam. The desire of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is that all over the world, everyone in every village and every town know of him and his Sankirtan movement. These are the inner feelings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Rupa Goswami committed to writing all these feelings of the Lord. Now again, by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the same feelings are being spread all over the world by the servants of the Goswamis. And devotees who are pure and simple will appreciate this attempt. As concluded by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, however, those who are on the level of hogs and dogs will never appreciate such a great attempt. Yet this does not matter to the preachers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's cult. For all over the world they will continue to perform this responsible work, even though persons who are like cats and dogs do not appreciate them. So, Srila Rupa Goswami, he wrote all these beautiful books, so many books, Nectar of Devotion, Nectar of Instruction, what's the other books? So many books. Anyway, all these wonderful books, they give us a glimpse into life in the spiritual world. And they give us knowledge of how to actually enter into those pastimes. In the first chapter of Chaitanya Charitamrita, I believe it is, there's a very famous verse, Anapata Chiram Chirakurana Vitarana Kalo, which says that Rupa Goswami, he's blessing everybody. May the son of Sachi, Lord Chaitanya, beautiful golden form, may it be situated in the innermost recesses of your heart, resplendent with the radiance of molten gold. He has come to give what no other incarnation of God has given ever given, or at least for many, many years. He has come to give the treasure of Krishna Prema, or devotional service in Madhurya Rasa. So this is Lord Chaitanya's gift to the world, and he used Rupa Goswami to propagate this highest knowledge. So therefore, Kali Yuga is the best age. We might be disgusted by the Kali Yuga, by all the politics, by all the degradation, by all the pollution, all the wars. But we should be thankful, because in the Kali Yuga, Kila Doshani Devarajan Asti Yoga Mahangunan Kirtanadeva Krishnasya Mukta Sangha Paramvaja. So this age is a wonderful age. That even though the Kali Yuga is an ocean full, still in this age we can very easily achieve perfection just by chanting the holy name. So, Etavan, how's that verse? Huh? No, not that one. Etavan Vijamananam Akuto Bhayam Yoganam Ripaniritam Harinam Anukartanam. That the doubtless and fearless way to achieve perfection in this age is simply to chant the holy name. So that's all we have to do. And nobody should complain about having to chant, because it's actually so simple and it leads to perfection. But we sometimes complain about having to chant 16 rounds or coming to the kirtan. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, he said that one who attends the kirtan of the Lord will be successful. So it's not just the big kirtan festival with the big singers, but it's the small kirtan, the Mangalati, the Guru Puja with the bad singers. So the kirtan is the kirtan. The holy name is the holy name. So this process leads to perfection. And so the perfection is easier when we take shelter of the Goswamis, the 6 Goswamis. They all were wonderful, great personalities, but the leader was Rupa Goswami. Even though he respected Sanatana Goswami, his elder brother, as his guru. So Prabhupada told a story about how they were so free from desire for sense enjoyment that this story he told that Rupa Goswami, he wanted to cook something for Sanatana Goswami. He wanted to cook a meal for him, but he didn't have the ingredients. So he prayed, somewhere or other, how can I find the ingredients to cook this meal? So then this beautiful young girl came along and she had all the required paraphernalia, the boga, whatever it was. So he cooked an amazing meal. And so he offered it to Sanatana Goswami. And Sanatana Goswami, he said, wow, that was wonderful, but where did you get the ingredients? So then Rupa Goswami said, well, this beautiful young girl, she came and she gave me all these ingredients. It was so amazing. So then Sanatana Goswami chastised me, he said, you have taken service from Srimati Radharani. So even though he was just doing something very selfless, cooking a meal for his brother, but still Sanatana Goswami chastised him. So there was Anyabhalasada Samyan, Jnana Kamadinavitam, Anukayena Krishnanu, Shilinam Bhakti Uttama. Very important verse of Rupa Goswami, that devotional service should be performed without any desire for material enjoyment or fruitive activities or mental speculation and what's the other one? Impersonal liberation. Anyabhalasasam jnana kamadinavitam anukayena Krishna shilanam bhakti uttama. So devotional service has to be completely pure. So we see with the example of the Goswamis, they were completely pure. If we, there's that Sad Goswami Astakam by Srinivas Acharya, where he's glorifying the 6 Goswamis, that they threw off all aristocracy as insignificant and they accepted loincloths and they were very austere, just exhibiting how one should give up sense gratification. Of course, Prabhupada said that we cannot imitate, he was talking about Raghunath Goswami, you cannot imitate Raghunath Goswami. It's impossible for us to be like him. But then he said, but there is possibility. I don't know what he meant, but that's what he said. And then, when Prabhupada was on his last days, he said, I always wondered how I would be able to give up eating. But now I've done it. So maybe one day we'll be able to, maybe in many lifetimes. So Rupa Goswami, he gave the greatest gift because he gave us the chance to enter into the mood of the gopis. Sometimes people are a bit squeamish about talking about the different types of relationships one can have with Krishna. But we should know that the Goswami's literature was predominantly about the relationship between Radha and Krishna and the feelings of the gopis. If you read Nectar of Devotion, so many instances, examples describing the gopis' feelings. if you, so not that we should think we're gopas, but we should hear about them to know what pure devotional service is. So Rupa Goswami, he wrote, for instance, Nectar of Instruction. So Nectar of Instruction, where is it? I can't find it now. Oh, here we are. Okay. This Nectar of instruction begins with, Vacha Vegam, Manasakroda Vegam, Jiva Vegam, Udapastade Vegam. It talks about how somebody who can control the urge to speak, the mind's demands, the demands of the tongue, the belly, and the genitals, is qualified to make disciples all over the world. That's the first verse. And then it gradually leads up to more confidential knowledge. So first of all, we have to control the senses. So the process of devotional service is very powerful. It's a science. So if we practice it properly, then we will achieve the goal. The goal is to become perfect in our Swarup. Whatever Swarup, whatever relationship you want to have with Krishna, you can be a blade of grass in the spiritual world, you can be a cowherd boy, you can be a tree offering fruit to the Lord, you can be a particle of dust, being stamped upon while the Gopas and Krishna are dancing in the rasa dance. There's many possibilities. So, the Nectar of Instruction, it gets more and more confidential, and then, this is verse number 11, of the many objects of favour delight, and of all the lovable damsels of Brajabhumi, Srimati Radharani is certainly the most treasured object of Krishna's love. And in every respect, her divine kund is described by great sages as similarly dear to him. Undoubtedly, Radhakund is very rarely attained, even by the great devotees. Therefore, it is even more difficult for ordinary devotees to attain. If one simply bathes once within those holy waters, one's pure love of Krishna is fully aroused. Purport. Why is Radhakund so exalted? The lake is so exalted because it belongs to Srimati Radharani, who is the most beloved object of Sri Krishna. Among all the gopas, she is the most beloved. Similarly, her lake, Sri Radhakund, is also described by great sages as the lake that is as dear to Krishna as Radha herself. Indeed, Krishna's love for Radhakund and Srimati Radharani is the same in all respects. Radhakund is very rarely attained, even by great personalities fully engaged in devotional service, not to speak of ordinary devotees who are only engaged in the practice of Vaidhi Bhakti. It is stated that a devotee will have once developed pure love of Krishna in the wake of the gopas if he once takes a bath in Radhakund. How many of you taken bath in Radhakund? So you have to take bath in Radhakund as many times as possible. Wow, I need to go there. This is a most important item in the execution of devotional service. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes in this connection that Sri Radhakund is the most select place for those interested in advancing their devotional service in the wake of the lady friends, Sakhis, and confidential serving maids, Manjaris of Srimati Radharani. Living entities who are eager to return home to the transcendental kingdom of God, Goloka Vrindavan, by means of attaining their spiritual bodies, Siddhadeha, should live at Radhakund, take shelter of the confidential serving maids of Sri Radha, and under their direction engage constantly in their service. So of course Prabhupada didn't recommend us to go and live in Radhakund, but he did recommend us to tell others about Radhakund. He recommended us to distribute books and establish temples and hear to develop eagerness to read the books by the six Goswamis. This is very important. When will I be eager to study the books of the Goswamis? Are you all eager to study the books of the six Goswamis? Hopefully. because they wrote it because they wanted to pour upon us, according to Srinivasacharya. They wanted to pour upon us the nectar of the transcendental pastimes of Radha and Krishna. They wanted us to hear about them so that we could develop love for Radha and Krishna. So that was their goal. So when Rupa Goswami, he wrote many books, and 2 particular verses he wrote when he had that dream of Satyabhama coming to him. So then he wrote 2 verses, and he wrote them on a palm leaf, I guess, and he put them in the thatched roof of the place he was staying. And somewhere or other, Lord Chaitanya came along and he found the verses. He found them, and so these verses are very important. 2 verses here. That very personality who stole my heart during my youth is now again my master. These are the same moonlit nights of the month of Chaitra. The same fragrance of malati flowers is there, and the same sweet breezes are blowing from the Kadamba forest. In our intimate relationship, I am also the same lover, yet still my mind is not happy here. I am eager to go back to that place on the bank of the river under the Vetasi tree. That is my desire. My dear friend, one other point was actually that when he had his dream about Satyabhama telling him to write 2 separate dramas, Prabhupada explains in the purport how there are 2 Krishnas. There's Yadukamar Krishna in Dwaraka, and there's Krishna in Vrindavan. And Krishna never leaves Vrindavan, although apparently he seems to leave, but actually it's all illusion to intensify the loving feelings of the gopis. So these verses are very beautiful, and they express Radharani's mood. Of course, Bhagavad Gita, we should read Bhagavad Gita, ABC. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he said that there's only 3 books that are important in this world. One is Bhagavad Gita, one is Srimad Bhagavatam, one is Chaitanya Charitamrita. And he said, if there were only 2 important books, it would be Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita. And if there was only one book, most important book, is Chaitanya Charitamrita. Because Chaitanya Charitamrita describes Lord Chaitanya and the method to achieve love of Krishna. So, Srimad Bhagavatam, it goes through the history of the universe. It tells us about all the repercussions of material life. So many chapters describing the difficulties of this world. But it culminates in 10th canto. 10th canto, and Krishna's speaking to Uddhava, the Uddhava Gita, very beautiful. But Chaitanya Charitamrita, that is even higher. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he read it, I've heard different numbers, but 100 times. So we can read it over and over and over again. And so it's helping us understand the feelings of the residents of Vrindavan. And the residents of Vrindavan, they have love like nobody else. So even when Krishna didn't want Vasudeva, his father, to see the ecstatic love of Nanda Maharaj, because there is a difference in their love. Because it would be embarrassing for Vasudeva to see how Nanda Maharaj's love exceeded his love. And Mother Yashoda, she loves Krishna even more than Nanda Maharaj. So the love of a mother, that is the highest love. Of course, the gopis, their love is even higher. So, this other verse, which is very important. My dear friend, now I have met my very old and dear friend Krishna on this field of Kurukshetra. I am the same Radharani, because they all went to meet Krishna in Kurukshetra. Krishna came from Dwarka, and the residents of Vrindavan went to meet him. And they wanted him to come back to Vrindavan. That's what the Rath Yatra festival is all about. They're trying to pull Krishna back to Vrindavan. My dear friend, now I have met my very old and dear friend Krishna. This is Radharani. On this field of Kurukshetra. I am the same Radharani, and now we are meeting together. It is very pleasant, but I would still like to go to the bank of the Jamuna, beneath the trees of the forest there. I wish to hear the vibration of a sweet flute playing the fifth note within that forest of Vrindavan. So, so Lord Chaitanya, he said, my heart is very confidential. How did you know my mind in this way? After saying this, he firmly embraced Rupa Goswami. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took that verse and showed it to Swarup Damodar for him to examine. Then the Lord questioned him, how could Rupa Goswami have understood my heart? The Lord asked. No one could otherwise understand this meaning. I can therefore guess that previously you bestowed your causeless mercy upon him. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, Rupa Goswami met me at Prayag. Knowing him to be a suitable person, I naturally bestowed my mercy upon him. I therefore also bestowed upon him my transcendental potency. Now you also should give him instructions, in particular instruct him in transcendental mellows. So he's talking to Swarup Damodar. So Swarup Damodar, of course, is Lalita, and Rupa Goswami is a Manjari. So Lalita is the leader of the gopis, so she instructs the Manjaras. So they're all existing for Krishna, to serve Krishna. And we can, this verse is really nice too. The river Ganges flowing in the heavenly planets is full of golden lotus flowers, and we, the residents of those planets, eat the stems of the flowers. Thus we are very beautiful, more so than the inhabitants of any other planet. This is due to the law of cause and effect. For if one eats food in the mode of goodness, the mode of goodness increases the beauty of his body. And in the purport, Prabhupada explains how in the modern age, he was talking about the politicians in this age, that they eat all rotten, horrible food. Consequently, they're not very beautiful. So, as we, like Prabhupada said, look at the devotees, they look like jubilant peacocks dancing. Before they were all miserable and dowdy. Now they're all effulgent. So this is the natural culmination of devotional service, like whatever age. Mandakini, I don't know how old she is, she's about 50, but she's still dancing very ecstatically. So the kirtan is enlivening and brings us life and love and freedom from material life. So we should take shelter of Rupa Goswami. When will Srila Rupa Goswami give me shelter at his lotus feet? That should be our prayer, because they can bring us to Krishna. They can give us love of Krishna. That was their goal. And if we don't accept it, then we are foolish. They wrote many books like Ujjvala Nilamani. It's a very sophisticated book. Very advanced. Not for everybody. Not for me even. I don't mean even, but not for me. But we should aspire to understand the different intricacies and the different moods of the gopas. There are so many different moods. It's all very scientific. If you read Jaiva Dharma by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, it culminates in him quoting verses from the Ujjvala Nilamani. And he's also trying to bring us to the platform of understanding and becoming attracted to Krishna in Vrindavan in the mood of the gopis. So we are very grateful to Rupa Goswami for writing all these books. We're very grateful to Srila Prabhupada for introducing us to Rupa Goswami. Without knowing all these great personalities, our life would be like living in a desert with no water, suffering, again, material life. So we should be very grateful to all the great personalities who've introduced us to Krishna and who want to lead us back to Godhead. Hare Krishna. Any? Yes, Maharaj. Microphone. Got a microphone for Maharaj?
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Adikarta Prabhu. Adikarta Prabhu, nice class.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I just want to give a little detail about the verses that you mentioned about Rupa Goswami, the first and the second. Actually, the first verse was not written by Rupa Goswami, but it was by Kalidas in a novel called Shakuntala. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, while dancing in front of Lord Jagannath, he recited this verse, and actually it's about mundane love, because Shakuntala was married to a king, and first they met in the forest, and they married to Gandharva, exchanging garland, and later on she went to the palace to meet him, and she said this verse, that we are the same lover, but we were meeting again, very nice, but I miss the time we spent in the forest next to the river. So Mahaprabhu was reciting this verse. The devotees were confused, they would not understand why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu speaking about someone they love, of between Shakuntala and the king. But Rupa Goswami did understood his inner feelings, and he translated that in another verse.
Okay.
Which is mentioned that you read that when Radharani met Krishna in Kurukshetra, she said, that feeling that we are meeting again after such a long time, almost 100 years. Mm-hmm. We are the same lovers, but I don't like to see you here surrounded by chariot and horses and armor, and you're like a Kshatriya. I rather would like very much to see you in Vrindavan and at the Yamuna River under the Kadamba tree playing the fifth note of your flute. So he wrote that verse in Sanskrit and put it on the roof of the hut of Thakur Haridas, because they were staying together there. And they went to take bath at the ocean, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu arrived with the associate, and he found the palm leaf with that verse. When he read that verse, he entered in complete ecstasy, and he showed it to Swarup Damodar, like you mentioned. And when Rupa Goswami came, he slapped him lovingly, saying, "How could you understand my mind, my heart?" So, because he gave to the world the inner feeling of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was acknowledged as the head of our Sampradaya. That's why we are called Rupanugas, we follow Rupa Goswami. So when Radha and Krishna met in Kurukshetra, Krishna was feeling guilty. He went to touch the feet of Radharani, asking forgiveness for separating from her for such a long time. But Radharani stopped him. She said, "No, you are not guilty of anything. You went to do your duties to save your parents from Kamsa's prison and to kill so many demons. If anybody is guilty, it's me, because I survived your separation. I'm still alive. That makes me unfaithful." So this type of feelings are very intimate feelings between Radha and Krishna. And Srila Rupa Goswami did give to the world the inner meaning of Mahaprabhu's feeling through the verse he quoted from the novel called Shakuntala.
Well, thank you very much for
Hare
that.
Krishna.
Thanks for the information.
Jananda Maharaja.
Hi, Bama.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Adikarta Prabhu, you mentioned about we should bathe in Radhakund.
Yeah.
And you were
Well, that's what
you
Rupa
made
go.
it sound like we should all go there and jump in the Kund.
Yeah.
And this would be our perfection of life.
Right.
And now when Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj talked many times about bathing in Radhakund, that anyone who has any material desire of any kind is not eligible to bathe in Radhakund.
Okay.
How do we compute this?
I'm just reading the purport, the Prabhupada wrote.
Yeah, but this still needs a little bit more explanation.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the boys took it lightly, like they did when Prabhupada was there. I was there personally in '76. They took it lightly. I think it was a
Right.
You
No,
know,
they used to
look 'em
play.
up.
They used to play around and splash each other and just like have fun, like they were in a swimming pool. I think that's why Prabhupada complained.
why he stopped.
Yeah, that's why he stopped it. But here it's evident that
And Bhakti Siddhanta says it's a state of consciousness.
Yeah.
It's a state of action. Consciousness.
yeah,
Having the right consciousness. The same we could say with deity worship. The
yeah,
Lord is reciprocating with our consciousness.
right. I remember there was one guy called Richard living at Radhakund. You remember him?
Yeah.
So Richard, Prabhupada was criticizing him because he was an American person. Sorry, sorry about that. He was an American and he wasn't initiated. He was living, and he wouldn't come and see Prabhupada. He was too busy living at Radhakund. So Prabhupada said, what's the point? Yeah, and then I met him later in Kansas. He used to go to the Sunday program at Dhanavir Maharaj's temple over there, Rupanuga Vedic College, but he never got initiated or anything. So he lived at Radhakund, but he obviously didn't understand. Very advanced stage to live at Radhakund. And Prabhupada never lived at Radhakund. And Prabhupada, he stayed out. Like he said, I want to die on the battlefield. He didn't want to retire. But, obviously, Prabhupada advocates bathing in Radhakund because he's saying, you should bathe in it as many times as possible, but not with a frivolous mood, just like swimming and splashing and playing around, but
Actually, Prabhupada showed us the example how to do it. When he went to Radha Kund, he just took few drops of water, put it on his head, and he said, "This is as good as taking bath in the Radha Kund. This is the best way for us to do it."
Yeah.
So, because he was very upset when devotees, of course, out of their ignorance, they didn't know, they were jumping Radha Kund and swimming with their foot, splashing the water. Prabhupada was very angry. He said, "They are kicking Radharani's face." So he said, nobody more take bath in the Radha Kund. He prohibited. And he himself showed, by just he never himself took bath in the Radha Kund.
Yeah, but he was already there. He didn't need to.
Yeah, of course.
But he was old.
But like Janananda Prabhu said, that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta said that actual bath in Radha Kund for those who are free from material desire. So, I mean to say, we see many people just go and take bath, and they are really taking bath in Radha Kund, because everything in the Dham has an external and internal aspect. Materialistic people may live in the Dham, they think that they live in the surface, which is Maya covering. So in the same way, materialistic people may go and take bath in Radha Kund, but actually they are not taking bath in Radha Kund, only the surface, the external aspect. So it's very important to know the external and internal aspect of the Dham also. And take it, not take it lightly, these things.
Right. You're right. Anything else? Any ladies? You all agree? You're going to read Rupa Goswami's books today? To remember him? Try to read something of Rupa Goswami.
Nectar of Devotion.
Yes.
When Prabhupada took initiation, he said that his Guru Maharaj gave him one instruction, to read regularly the Nectar of Devotion.
Prabhupada said that?
Yes.
Really? I didn't know
By his
that.
own Guru Maharaj.
That's very interesting.
Most important book, Bible of this time.
Yes. Today also Moridas Pandit disappeared, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know so much about him.
Can I say something about him?
Sure, yeah,
Okay.
of course.
He was a great devotee of Gaur Nitai. And when Lord Chaitanya Nityananda went to visit him, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave him an oar, this. And he said, "Why are you giving me this?" He said, "You must teach people how to cross the ocean of the material world from this side to the other side, the spiritual world." He said, "I don't know how to do that, you have to teach me." He said. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with his own hand wrote the 700 verses of Bhagavad Gita for him. If you go to that place, it's still there. So he went to his home, he was very happy serving them prasad and washing their clothes, and after some time, Gaur said, "We have to leave, we have to go to preach." But Gauridas said, "If you leave, I will die. I'm so attached to you, I can't survive your separation." So they stayed a few more days to please him. And then after some time, they also went to go. So he also tried to stop them. Finally, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made two deities of themselves, Nityananda and Lord Chaitanya, from neem trees, and he, by touching them, he installed them and told Gauridas, "They are not different from us. You worship them is no different from us, so you'll be happy like that." So they went away, but he followed them. No, please come back. But you have the deities. Okay, the deities can go, you come back. So the deities left the house and got the original student, the altar. But he went after the deities also. "No, you can't leave. Mahaprabhu gave you to me." So finally, one set of two stayed on the altar, and the other left. Also, there is a very nice pastime of Rupa Goswami, very instructing for us about to be careful Vaishnava aparat, offensive to the Vaishnavas. It was when every day he will enter into Samadhi, Rupa Goswami, and he will get revelation of Radha Krishna pastime, and later will write about them. And one of those occasions, he was in deep meditation. One Vaishnava who was had some bodily defects, when he walked, So he came to pay obeisance to Rupa Goswami, and Rupa Goswami started laughing. So the Vaishnava took offense. He thought that Rupa Goswami was laughing at him. So he left the place, disturbed, And Rupa Goswami's meditation broke up. He could not meditate anymore in Radha Krishna Lila. So he tried, and once and again he couldn't do it. So he went to his brother Sanatana Goswami, his guru, and asked him for advice. And his brother Sanatana Goswami told him, maybe you offended unknowingly you offended some Vaishnava, and that's why you can't meditate again. And how can I know which Vaishnava I offended so I can apologize? I didn't see anybody. And Sanatana Goswami told him, okay, you invite all the Vaishnavas to big prasadam feast, and the one who doesn't come, that's the one who felt offended. So he did that, and that Vaishnava didn't come. So everybody knows everybody in Vrindavan. So Rupa Goswami with Mahaprasad in his hand went to the place of that Vaishnava and offered him prasad and apologized to him, just in case I offended you unknowingly, please forgive me. And the Vaishnava said, yes, I went to see you, offer my respect to you, but you start laughing, and I felt that you were laughing at my deformity, my bodily deformity. So I thought, even Vaishnava, they see you on the bodily platform. And Rupa Goswami said, no, please don't think like that. I never laughed at you, I never even noticed you came. So why you was laughing there? Well, you are forcing me to tell the truth. Actually, I was meditating on the pastimes of Radha and Krishna, and I saw Radharani with the gopis picking flowers for Krishna to make garlands, and Krishna was hiding in one tree full of flowers, and there was a branch a little high but full of flowers. So Radharani wanted to catch that branch with flowers, but it was a little high. So Krishna with his foot, he pushed down that branch so Radharani could grab it with one hand and with the other hand pick the flowers. But to play a trick on Radharani, Krishna took off his foot and the branch jumped up along with Radharani in it. So I could not stop laughing, at Krishna's pastime. Please forgive me. The other Vaishnavas, no, you please forgive me. I made an offense to you by that. They paid offense to each other and hug each other. So that's, it's teaching us how careful we should be, even in our mind, not to think bad about somebody, So please forgive me.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
This is the last point on Gauridas Pandit. He's Subal in Krishna Lila.
Okay.
By interest, he's in Sakaras. He's not in the same rasa.
Sakiras.
Friendship. He's the leader of that particular party.
Haribo.
He's the interactor. He's the go-between.
Mm-hmm. Is he one of the 12 Gopalas? One of the 12 cowherd boys?
I don't know. Yes, he is. He's the leader.
Okay, Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Rupa Goswami ki jai.
Adikarta Prabhu ki jai.
Hare Krishna, Lochan Prabhu asked me to make an announcement, but from every day now there will be a seminar going on in the next room. So this morning at 10:30, Devaki Mataji is giving a seminar on children in Krishna consciousness. 10:30, sorry, 10:30 in the next room.
All right.
Especially the boys who've got children,
Yeah.
and who want to have children, and who didn't have children, and who don't have children, who don't want to have children, want to become a child in the next life.
Working out some.
Working part-time. One way we come to full-time. You were here before.
We need more time. This is how long? How long? How many years? 10 years? How long? 10 years. 2 years? You was here? Yeah? Brand new?
But the stuff is not.
No, this is because it broke. I need to put it here. Pregnant. Yeah, somebody asked it because this no, this one is not good. Sometimes it's open and it
Both made her pregnant, yeah.
yeah, this I need to do something.
Yeah,
I think it can like somebody else play. People never know. This is very difficult. And you do something on that. You see, do space. Yeah, it's sometimes you play you keep. I think more close they have so much space. Sometimes. This one. I think it's way to media by the over there. Yeah.
We don't have many cows. We have really good fence for those. Yeah, I believe.
Ainda mais a noite. Onde put here,
How and he.
No. One of them got straight. One of them got straight. Two different parts of
Here you can get
the cows usually stay
the
over
place
here.
that the dress.
That's a good idea.
your the phone number.
As India, não? As India?
19 what is from India.
Maharaj knows quite a lot. I don't know.
Many devotees of India every year, they can read it in events, you know. Every year, every 2-3 people there.
It's not inappropriate.
No, we didn't, but it's
Because it
things you hear if you know where you go, what you read, who you hear from.
But there it's so powerful.
Part of those assistant for,
because they're here, no?
well, you know, they just, species too weak to from a material perspective.
Mas isso aqui não foi legal desse parque. Pode ir.
It's too small here, but in relative terms, measure time.
Yeah.
This time and beating. Then this thing
I followed the college yesterday and I thought it was issues to the and I did the same thing.
Okay, let's see. This festival is still okay.
Message here.
Do you have to fast? Do you have to observe the college yesterday?
Depends where you were. Was it Kadashi yesterday where you were?
You don't eat it today?
I thought it was.
Because today,
Where were you yesterday?
we will eat something, a fruit or
Was it Kadashi in Wales yesterday?
Was it the college in London?
No, in Wales it was. Well, they're different in Wales. Welsh and they're a little bit different over there. Well, you noticed by whatever else I was just doing.
I was traveling.
Oh, you were sure.
I was there with a bus.
And the last one,
Pretty much every morning. Long journey. But you know they have flights of cars. They used to. I don't know if they still do. No, tours London, they fly from London. Regular. Every day of the week, maybe 4 days a week. No, Stansted.
Yeah, but I was
Maybe no flight. They don't fly every day, maybe 4 or 5 days a week.
yeah, so
Well,
what
by
now?
train you go on the Stansted Express.
Huh?
If you jump on the Stansted Express, you get to Stansted in no time. You have to pay free to go. You got no free car?
yeah.
Yeah, I get free travel everywhere.
How'd you get it? How'd you get it?
These are the best
I think the closest to one is the one.
Send it to me.
Yeah, whereas the Stansted all the underground, all the buses, all over the UK.
All the buses?
Not UK, England, Wales. And all the local trains like that.
England only, they exclude Wales.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
They have their own rules. And also you've got to get in London.
The holy jacket. Actually, it's Krishna's arrangement, I'll tell you. She was great. Her husband.
Thank you for the class. It was very inspiring. For now, it's quite okay. With the HG she's here, but maybe she's on the festival. I didn't see her.
Never stays. Everybody. Never stays. I know. You're not going to end up in church.
Yeah, but we had a ceremony here because we collect. Yeah, you were in India. So we collect and we gave a donation here in my employee's name and also the devotee that is ceremony in India because I'm in touch with devotee in India. Yesterday was the 50th of
Assumption.
Assumption. And there are thousands and thousands of pilgrims coming. And it's amazing. At night, everybody, you know, passes the convent, and they are singing, and we do that with.
I've seen it in the Philippines.
Yeah, his wife is
In your East, the Holy Spirit.
and she's Indonesian. She really would like to have come, but she has to work. So another time we need
Yeah. Yes, it's really.
I've been there.
Oh, yeah. So I always
Every
think
district.
of, you know, I want to bring my house here, I want to bring my house here.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, it's so, and the mountain is so beautiful over there.
Yeah.
They have a very nice weather.
Yes.
Okay. Probably should have left it on. What do you mean in the bathroom?
Also, vegetable.
Yeah, well, yesterday he tried to tell me to keep it easier.
So the people
Moi, c'est une on a coiffé pour s'occuper d'elle. C'est ça que je voulais faire, parce que c'est pas